Welcome back to Project Community, shining light on mental health. We're now turning our focus to youth.
Preteens and teens are not immune from mental health concerns. Experts say half of all chronic mental illnesses develop by the age of 14.
Every 2 years, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention conducts a national youth risk behavioral survey of high school students.
86 school districts in New Hampshire took part in the 2017 survey. It found nearly 38% of Granite State high schoolers felt sad or hopeless almost every day for 2 or more weeks in the previous year, and nearly 8% had attempted suicide at least once. The CDC says those findings show more suicide prevention efforts are needed in New Hampshire schools.
One man who went to the edge and survived after a suicide attempt is now making it his life's mission to help those in a dark place. WMUR's Jennifer Crompton talks with Craig Miller about his story of what it means to decide to live.
I will tell you that there was a time when I believed I could not make it and living wasn't for me, and I was wrong.
Craig Miller is a suicide attempt survivor. The 43-year-old author, speaker, and married father of 2, the keynote speaker at the Halius Safety Symposium at UNH.
As dangerous as it sounds, suicide was my solution to every single problem and even my motivator to getting to the next day. Because you know what? I'll give tomorrow a chance. And if tomorrow doesn't work, then I have a way out.
His first suicidal thoughts as an 8-year-old, sexually abused by a neighbor, bullied by classmates.
I'm standing in front of the sink and I'm looking at this knife and I'm crying my eyes out and I'm thinking, if this is what life is, then I don't want to live it.
Painful details helping better understand people in mental health crisis.
I can't tell you how many doctors I had seen, therapists, emergency room visits. In my teens, I was hospitalized 5 times for suicidal thoughts, depression, and OCD. I can't tell you how many times I was asked the question, do you want to die?
Feeling afraid and alone, attempting suicide at the age of 20.
And I sat on the edge of a rented bed one night. I filled my body with pills and I went to sleep. And I can tell you this, if you've ever experienced thoughts of suicide, if you know someone who has, if you feel suicidal right now, I can promise you with absolutely everything I am, it does not get worse than that.
In the hospital, a pivotal question from his brother.
I can see him thinking, and finally he turns over to me and he asks, Craig, what's it going to take to make you want to stay?
He believes most people consider suicide because they feel incapable of making change. He couldn't change his past, but could change himself by shifting his perspective.
Maybe mental health issues that I went through was the most profound and direct path to self-discovery I could have ever imagined.
A decision to commit to life, choosing to be around people with a positive influence, coping through writing, art, and crying.
We're the only species on the planet that can laugh and cry. We have a built-in, self-calibrating system that works on our emotions and puts them back where they need to be. And instead of letting that process happen, we apologize for it.
Sharing experience, key.
We all know what it's like to hurt. We're all people. We all understand. And the more we can do to normalize those kind of conversations, the more we could help each other.
For Project Community, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Former Supreme Court Chief Justice John Broderick is turning the crisis his family faced 17 years ago into a message of compassion for others suffering from mental health issues. He now travels New England, handing out these cards with 5 warning signs that someone may need help. WMUR's Mike Cronin has more.
I'm on a mission, really. That's why I'm here.
He's had a long, distinguished career in law, but former Chief Justice of the New Hampshire Supreme Court, John Broderick, says this is the most important work he's ever done.
I would speak every day if I could. I've turned down no invitations, and I'll keep doing that as long as they keep coming.
In the past 3 years, he's spoken at more than 150 schools in 4 states, reaching almost 100,000 people, having honest conversations about mental illness without judgment or stigma.
Half of all mental illness in the United States, half, begins by age 14. My son was 13 years old.
His son's battle with depression and anxiety and the years of suffering his family endured have become catalysts for him to talk about a problem that can't be ignored.
I now realize what I never realized. I understand mental illness affects a lot of people and families, and I now know that silence is not our friend and ignorance solves no problem.
His goal is simple: get this card in the hands of as many people as possible. It lists the 5 signs that could mean someone needs help. They are personality change, feeling withdrawn, agitated, not taking care of themselves, and overcome with hopelessness. Through Dartmouth Hitchcock's React Awareness campaign, Broderick encourages people to recognize emotional suffering, offer support, and act before it's too late.
How many more suicides do we need to read about before we start talking about it? Not about suicide, but about mental illness. It's way past time. If the system of care for breast cancer is at 10, the system in America for treating mental health is maybe at 2 or 3. We have a long way to go.
Broderick says it's a conversation that kids want to hear, but sometimes it's a challenge to connect with their parents.
If we don't change that, this generation will be lost.
Broderick wants to show people there's no shame in mental illness and that help is out there.
As Yogi Berra might have said, if nothing changes, nothing changes. It's true, by the way. If nothing changes, nothing will change. So I'm just trying to start the change.
For Project Community, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
The mental health crisis is also seen at colleges and universities in the state. The chief of police at the University of New Hampshire says his officers are responding to over 100 calls a year for students in crisis. Chief Paul Dean says officers now have to gauge text messages between students that contain depressing or suicidal thoughts. He believes anxiety and depression are common as students deal with life issues and stresses, along with the pressures that come from social media.
Mental health issues are my opioid crisis here at the University of New Hampshire. Mental health is affecting all aspects of everything.
Dean calls the resources at UNH second to none, but says they are tapped thin.
The issues of social acceptance and academic demands can also leave high school students with feelings of stress, anxiousness, or worse. One man has a goal of getting young people to disconnect from their smartphone screens and reconnect in person. WMUR's Amy Covino says that change starts with parents.
From iPhones to opiates, we're all a little bit shaken up and disconnected.
Jeff Levin says the very device heralded for bringing us closer and keeping us connected is at the heart of the disconnect in families, social settings, and the classroom.
We call it the new parenting playbook. Snowplow, distracted, vicarious. Oh my God, she got a C-.
And pulsing on every screen, social media apps, documenting every success, every failure, waiting for likes, views, followers. Levin argues it's faux, lacking eye contact, spontaneity, human connection.
Parents often think like, well, why not just not use social media at all if it's causing so much stress? But it's really hard to avoid that when your whole generation is like, it's the social media generation.
We visit Bishop Girton High School in Nashua on the second day of classes. There have already been 2 tests. Already, the principal says, kids are calling out, not able to face the stress of school. On day 2.
They're facing all this pressure, and they've been working very hard, and they've been following the script to try to do the right things along the way. But along the way, that means they're also influenced by all the expectations that are placed on them.
The Reconnection Project targets students and athletes teetering on the edge of depression or stress overload, and the students rave about the results.
We've entered the group probably at our lowest points, and we've left, like even just 1 year of the group, and we left being able to overcome so many things that we could have never done before.
Buckle up, parents, because Jeff Levin says the change starts with you.
Galvanize the adults to be analog role models. Put your phone away and listen, and pay attention to your kids and your kids' friends.
Fewer lessons and travel sports teams. More dinners together. Conversations about the big stuff. Levin says this generation is worried about their safety, their environment, and their future.
He calls it the overwhelming tragedy list.
But I think a lot of kids have what Judge Broderick and I call digititis, inflammation of they're anxious because of this list and because of the fact that we as grown-ups aren't talking about it.
Coach Guy says Levin's work with the baseball team was a game changer.
We have kids from all walks of life. We have some kids that have, they're very affluent. We have some kids that don't know where their next meal is going to come from.
Participants say Levin uses humor and music to break down barriers and get to the tough stuff without the students even realizing it's happening.
I think Mr. Levin does a very good job bringing that out of kids and bringing that kind of that vulnerable piece out of them that it's kind of hard to get out of some teenage kids nowadays.
Kids have stress. Not all stress is bad, but Levin says parents need to focus on the connection of heart and soul. Prepare the child for the road, not the road for the child is the motto that guides Principal Strinsky. And then loosen the reins.
We want to reinstall old school dynamics. We want to believe that we can slow it down and reconnect.
For Project Community, Amy Covino, WMUR News 9.
They have seen the unimaginable. Returning to civilian life can be a challenge that may be too much for veterans to face. What the VA is doing to change that.
First, in their own words, one person's story of living with mental illness.
I would go to school, but some days I would just sit in my car and wait for the school day to pass and never actually go into the building. Eventually I realized that I needed help. She looked at me and said, I think you just need to get a planner. I think you need to get organized. And I was like, that's all it took this whole time. And that night I made my first suicide attempt. No one found out. No one noticed. One time, I knew that I had a really difficult midterm coming up. And I locked myself in the library for like 12 hours, I think. A week later, I got that midterm back, and it had a big 23% circled at the top. I had gone back to my dorm room, and that night I tried to take my life for the second time. I got released from the hospital, and I was definitely doing better. I started talking to someone about it as opposed to just keeping everything bottled up. It was tough, but now I have a house, I have a home that is filled with people that I love and who make it a point to remind me how much I'm loved in return.